Hello everyone, this is Jasmeet Bhatia, Director Landmark Immigration, and today I am with Mr. Nathaniel from St. Clair College, a Manager International Recruitment, and Vinay Katikala from St. Clair College again for International Recruitment Officer. So as you know, St. Clair is situated in Windsor and it's an important college and so Landmark has been sending a lot of students to St. Clair College, and we have got very positive reviews for St. Clair, and all the students we have sent are very happy and settled in Windsor city. And I have personally visited myself the city, and it seems to be nice quiet place to settle down also. So Vinay, thank you, and Nathan, thank you for taking out time to come out on the live show and solving students query so that we can give better information to the students. So it's basically in this COVID situation, I think the online platforms have been very important. So students can be in touch with us through these online platforms also, and we can reach to them, giving them right information. So Vinay, I will start we'll start with the basic question. Like I want you to explain a little bit about your college and
Sure.
location. I know everybody knows about it, but still we want to do that.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Good evening to all my Indian friends, and good morning to the students or the recruiters who is live in Canada. My name is Vinay Katikala, recruiting officer, St. Clair College, India, Middle East. And on this call, we also have my colleague, Nathaniel Veltkamp, manager, international recruitment. We'd like to give a little bit introduction about where we are and who we are, and we'll go from there. So I work for St. Clair College, one, one of the public institutions in Ontario. We are in Southwest, really close to United States border, Detroit.
Yeah.
That's been a blessing. Um, and we are working with Landmark Institution from many years now. Landmark has been one of the top recruiters for our institution. Um, and Jasmeet, I know him really well. He did keep sending really high quality students, and we are really happy with Landmark's services. And let me introduce our manager, Nathaniel Veltkamp, recruiting manager for recruiting, and we can go ahead.
Well, thanks, Vinay, and thanks, Jasmeet, for the introduction and the invitation to participate on this call. It's like you mentioned, it's maybe that's a positive out of COVID, if there can be one, that the technology and the openness to use technology and platforms like this to stay connected. I think has benefited everyone. There's a little bit more transparency and communication between schools and students. So hopefully that doesn't go away. I don't think it will once COVID is beaten, and we can maybe do a lot more of these down the road for every semester. So thanks for the invitation, and as Vinay mentioned, we're St. Clair College. A lot of those on the call know where we're located. Where the city that we're mostly in, our main campus is in Windsor, Ontario, one of the most affordable cities in Canada to live, the most southern point of Canada, which has got a favorable climate. And our numbers of COVID have been managed. We just entered stage 3, which a lot of the reopening of businesses and other services to the public have been opened. There's only 20 or so cases, and that has been on the decline since the spring, since April and May. So we're very proud of. We have a very safe community for students to potentially come and study in, and whether that be online for the next few months or next few weeks, and then you come in 2021, or if you are eligible to travel soon, seeing us face to face in a few weeks. Yeah, I think if Jasmeet, I'm happy to talk a little bit about if you got any questions, or I can just dive right into the fall
So,
and what that looks like.
so I want to ask you one thing that all the students are asking, like, which are the coming intakes right now you are taking admissions for? Which are the coming intakes? Like, what are the
Coming
intakes?
intakes.
Yeah, you're taking
Yep.
admissions for. Yeah. Mm.
So we currently still have a few seats available for the fall in a few choice programs. Our January 2021, the winter semester is fully open. We have um, probably around 40 or so programs that will have an intake for this January. There are a few programs that don't have a traditional January intake, but because of COVID, we've had to push some of those programs that had a hybrid delivery back a semester. So if a student is interested in a program like culinary, typically that was only a September start, but now we have a January start. So we are accepting applications for those programs, hospitality, and then some of the ones that have drawn a lot of interest: data analytics, international business management, computer networking, business, all of the focuses of business as well, business finance, accounting, human resources, marketing. Those are all very popular, and I would encourage students not just to look at a general business, which is fine, and there are a lot of opportunities after that, but getting that focus, that expertise in a marketing or an accounting, goes a lot further in Canada. Employers are looking for somebody that has that focus in business. And so I would encourage you and the students to look at some of those business streams, and we would those are all open for January as well. And then I believe in a few weeks here we will be opening our May. We always have a May intake as well. It's smaller, only about maybe 10, 15 programs, but we will be opening May 2021 here in the near future.
So there is a very one common question I want to ask, like a lot of students,
Yeah.
like Vinay Sahajpal is here, and he's asking that he's enrolled for September 1 year course for HRM, and how he can do that course online. Should he start online or should he defer? Because his course is only for 1 year. So what is the solution for students who have enrolled in 1 year course?
According to IRCC, students can still are eligible to receive a post graduation work permit if they complete at least 50% of their education overseas. They are still eligible to apply for a PGWP, which is post graduation work permit. So if he's a new student who is about to start in the fall, if he, I mean, as the program is online, 100% online, there's we as a college, we would recommend him to start overseas from India, at least for first semester. Once everything smoothens up, the border CBSA rules and regulations. Once everything smoothens up, he can travel in winter. That's as from the college, as for the institution, we recommend that. And again, it is up to the student. If he's not really comfortable, if he's got really serious issues back in India, he can have the travel letter issued by us. And again, the travel letter doesn't guarantee the entry to Canada. It is again up to the CBSA, which is the border officers, immigration, who decides to let the students in or deny the entry. Students have to do some explanation on their part, why they really want to come to Canada to study in Canada, why not overseas. So it is. I would leave it to the student. He's got options as an institution, as I
But
said.
if he's basically asking that suppose he finishes up his first semester and if he's not able to travel to Canada and by January, I would suggest all these students to take a break for 4 months when they finish up one semester if the border doesn't open.
That is always an option for a student. They
Mhm.
can take those official breaks, and we can provide documentation for that. One thing to clarify with that student as well is, I think what the advice that Vinay gave was right on. The one caveat that I would ask for that student for clarification is he a pre-March 18th visa holder, or is he an AIP holder? AIP, there's only one option is, or I guess he could study online or defer. If he's a pre-March 18th visa holder, he could come now and start online, even though his classes are online this fall. He could still attempt to come to Canada. And to Vinay's point, we can provide documentation. It's not a guarantee, but that's a third option for him. But to your point, Jasmeet, he could do online in the fall, and then we don't know what January is going to look like. I wish we all had a magic ball that we could see the future. That said, if he already has one semester under his belt, so to speak, if he's been one semester enrolled with us, that would probably weigh a lot more beneficial to him traveling to Canada than a first-time student who hasn't studied yet with the college.
So this can be also the situation that students will be given preference to enter Canada who have started studying online. This can be.
Yeah, I think, again, we're working closely with IRCC and the federal government and the provincial government. But you would, I think we would all believe that there would be some sort of extra weight towards students who have already been enrolled, who have done one semester, who have come up against that 50%, that point that IRCC is given. And so preference would be given to those students to travel before a brand new student starting in January. Yeah.
Yeah. So students, I would all request all those who receive AIPs or those who have received 18th March before visa to start their classes online. So it doesn't make a difference you are in Canada or you are in India. You should start your classes online. And in future, it might happen. It's a hypothetical situation that students who would be studying online will be given preference to enter Canada also. But that's an hypothetical situation. So what all, there are a lot of questions again coming. I have explained them the refund policy in my lot of live sessions and lot of information session with the students, but they actually want to listen from the college so
Yeah.
itself. So what is the refund policy of St. Clair? So
And
students know it, they want to hear it from you guys. Yeah.
yeah, and I mean, I could appreciate it. It wasn't that long ago. I was a student myself, and the amount that you're investing to study, you want to make sure that you've got that all in our documented. So our refund policy for this fall, with this new stage 1, stage 2 visa approval, is any student who receives an AIP stage 1 approval but is denied at second stage later in the term. So the student gets AIP, they start online in their program, and maybe they get stage 2 denial in December or November. And now what do they do? Well, the college is going to refund that back 100% to the student. And, you know, I guess they got, you know, a few months free education, so to speak, online. But I mean, what that indicates, what we hope that indicates to the student is, from our understanding, is the vetting or the approvals and denials will really come in this before stage 1 by IRCC, and really the stage 2 approval should be very, very high. It's more of a, I don't want to call it a formality, but it's just kind of the government just verifying the additional documents you submit, that the biometrics and stuff that you weren't able to submit now. The government's just verifying that, yep, you submitted it, and here's your stage 2 approval. So we're confident that a lot of students won't be denied at stage 2, and by the confidence, we're saying anyone that does, we're just going to give you your money back, and hopefully you try again and it'll come at a later semester. But we also don't want you to be out that money as a student.
So it's a very good news for all the students. I have also told you that St. Clair College will refund 100% money if you get refusal, whereas refusal chances at second stage are very minimum because just the biometric is pending. And in admissibility criteria, I don't think so any student will fall on those criteria because you haven't done any crime, you are not being deported. These kind of things will matter when you will give your fingerprints, and there will be very very less chance of refusal at the second stage. That is what it is thought by all the colleges, because everything is, I think, adjudged before only, it is assessed before only giving you an AIP.
Yeah.
So there are like few questions also coming up. Everybody, there's a lot of students who got their AIPs already from us and from other companies also, but they are saying that they don't know their course is hybrid or their course is online. So how the colleges is sending them an email, or what is the process of that? How to know about that? Yeah.
The there are two things to consider for most students. They're on stclaircollege.ca, our main website. If they go to full-time programs and they scroll down and find the program that they received a letter of acceptance for, they can see a link on that program site that says Fall 2020 Delivery. If they click on that, there's a chart that shows them all the classes they'll take in that first semester, and then there's a column, either it says hybrid or online. And if there's an X in a hybrid class in the column, then they've got a hybrid, that class is a hybrid. If all the X's are in the online column, then their semester for this fall is online. Now, what we did as an institution, we were the first institution in Ontario who provided for the public what the delivery model will be for the classes this fall. And what we did on the international admission side of it was we had revoked any student that hadn't notified us of a pre-March 18th visa at that time in May. And so we only released or allowed students to keep letters of acceptance for online programs. Now, we all know that there may be some students who perhaps we missed, or for whatever reason, when we ran the computer program, we didn't catch it. But I would suspect that there wouldn't be too many students out there who have an AIP in a hybrid class. I think we would have caught those early on. So if you've got an AIP, probably you're on an online program, and but we're happy to verify that through Landmark, or if you visit the website, like I had mentioned, the students can verify that if their program's online or hybrid. So yeah, that would be the case with an AIP.
So I have shared the link already with them, St. Clair College Fall 2020 Delivery, in the chat box. So all the students who have a confusion that their program is hybrid or online, I have already shared the link. And Nathan, it's true that we already revoked all the offers, those who were hybrid or needed laboratories, and there were only students, those who the programs which were we will be able to run it online. I think you were the first college to do that. So we, all the students who've got AIPs, definitely your program is online and you can register for that program and start studying whenever the program start. So there is one other question. This it is from the existing visa holder student. He was a student of, he went to St. Clair in January 2020, and he came to India for some reason. Now he wants to go back to Canada, and he says he needs a travel letter to Canada. So I think I can give the solution. You can write to us if you are our existing student, or you can write an email to St. Clair College with your student ID, and St. Clair College will be happy to provide you the travel support letter.
Yep.
So I feel there is not a big issue. So you can also, existing students can travel back to Canada and they can explain to CBSA that for some reasons they went back to India, and I think they will not find any issues while going back to Canada. So I hope I am taking a lot of there are a lot of questions coming up, like there are so many scrolling down. So we are giving you a generic query answers to all the queries, because we've discussed the refund policy. We have told you about hybrid and online. And intake wise, September you can still apply for fall. There are few seats available for programs, those who will run online, and you can apply for fall. So I feel there are a lot of students asking for English requirements or English tests which are being accepted by St. Clair College. So can you answer? Because I tell them everything that PTE, TOEFL, IELTS is acceptable by St. Clair College, and still they want to hear it from your side. Yeah.
You want to take that one, Vinay?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, as Jasmeet said, he's right. There's no hidden other requirements other than IELTS, PT, and TOEFL. You can still apply with Duolingo. In terms of admissions, you may have to redo the IELTS while applying for a visa. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jasmeet.
Yes. Yes. It's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So you,
see, PTE, IELTS, and TOEFL is accepted. Duolingo, you can apply to get an admission, but to get a visa with Duolingo, it will be very tough. So you should get an IELTS, PTE, and the happy news is, I don't know. There are a lot of students who are telling me that they don't get visa for PTE, and we have, I think so, 7, 8 approvals for St. Clair College for PTE. And in the last intake, like that May and January, we had more than 30 students who got visa with PTE. So that is very clear to all the students that these tests are clear. And in the during the IRCC webinar also, this was made clear to all the students that PTE and TOEFL is acceptable under non-SDS category, and under SDS category only IELTS is acceptable. So there is another question that I have applied. So there's one other generic question, that suppose the classes start for 8th September. So when are the classes starting for 8th September or like 15th September? So this question, like all this, I'm just taking an example,
Yep.
that suppose the classes start from the date 8th September or 15th September, but the student does not receive an AIP.
Yep.
So in that case, what a student should do? Like if he doesn't get an AIP, he's applied for September and he doesn't get an AIP. Should the student defer, or should he wait, or should he inform the college? What should the student do in that case?
That's a good question. So first of all, just for the audience, St. Clair College did push back the start of the fall semester from September 8th to September 21st. So all of the programs start on September 21st. If a student does not have an AIP for the first day of class, what they can do, as like every semester, the college arrival policy is they have up until the 10th day of the classes of the semester to join those classes. So 10 days after the 21st would be October 2nd. So students have up until October 2nd to get an AIP. If they don't have an AIP by October 2nd, what they would need to do is communicate either through Landmark to us or directly to the college and say, dear International Office, I still haven't received my AIP. I'd like to defer to the January semester. We will happily do that for them at that time and give them a new letter of acceptance for the January semester at that time. So it's not a huge, it's not something to be very concerned about. There's plenty of seats in January. But I think at this point, let's just wait to see how quickly immigration starts turning out and providing AIPs to students, I hope that they'll catch up on the backlog of applications that was received, and we won't have too many students won't have to sweat that deadline of October 2nd. But they don't have to have it for the first day of class. But October 2nd is a deadline that they need to keep in mind as they wait for their AIP.
So that's like big time. I think it's a very good news for all the students that you can wait for an AIP till 2nd October. So there are so many course students who are asking same Preet, Ranjod, Rahman, and there are so many students who have applied for St. Clair, Rocky Pro. I think Prabjot, I have answered all the students' question that you can get your AIP till 2nd October. And if you still don't get an AIP, then you defer. And we
Yeah.
still have 40 days. And I feel IRCC is working really hard to issue AIPs, and they're trying their level best to issue you an AIP. So students, I feel you should not worry about it. The college will support you. And if you don't get an AIP till 2nd October, then you should defer. And as per IRCC webinar, it was clear. They told us that the students who will have LOA for September intake will be issued, all the backlog will be cleared before 15th September. So all the backlog will be cleared before 15th September. So I am being very positive that a lot of students will receive their AIPs before 15th September, and today is 20th August. Still we have 3 weeks for it. So all the students, do not get panic, don't be impatient. We have already waited a lot for the same, and you will receive an AIP. So they're asking, like there is another one important question that they will save some money. I know they will save some money if they'll start their studies online from India. I have also done that and explained them, but still, as a college, you want to explain them that they start their studies from India, they will save some amount of money in the first semester. So, what kind of money they will save if they start their studies online?
Well, what they will soon discover when they log in, and some of the students on the call may have already received their login information for their student information system, which is the portal or the website where they'll have access to their Blackboard, where the online classes will take place. And there are many other functions through the SIS that they can explore over the next few weeks until classes start. One of those is student account, which shows a line by line breakdown of their tuition costs. And so a lot of times when we talk tuition, it's just one figure and it's just tuition. This account will give them a breakdown as to exactly, $25 for gymnasium access or something. So they'll see it's not just 8,000 for tuition. There's items associated with those costs. There's fees, service fees associated with those costs. One of those is health insurance, that every student who pays who pays tuition to us, we automatically purchase them Canadian health insurance so that when they travel or when they're with us and anything happens, they can go see a doctor and they'll be covered. Obviously, if they're studying in India, they won't need Canadian health insurance. So we will credit that back to them because they've already paid their confirmation fee. And so they've already paid their first semester, at least their first semester, if not both first and second semester tuition. We will credit that back to them. So that's something where they'll be saving. So there's a number of those. So for the viewers, the general thought is, if it's a service that they're not going to have access to in India, they're not going to be charged for it. And so we will credit that back to them. It's going to be a few $100s back to them, and they'll see that credit on their account. If they've got any questions about why something was or wasn't credited, they can ask me. They can email the international office, and I'll get back to them. a large portion of the tuition is the actual learning from a professor, and that is expensive. But there are savings that we can make. Around the $200-$300 a semester savings that we will credit back to them.
Yeah. Also, during keeping this situation in mind for new students, it's not really easy to find a job for their living. They may have to come up with their living expenses, which includes food, shelter, transportation. All these will add up to a big amount, estimated around $1,000 a month, at least as a student. If I was a student, I would 1,000 is a minimal monthly expense which I needed in my pocket before even the month starts. So I would say around 1,000 to, as Nate's point, all the ancillary fees, and it's estimated around 1,000 to $1,500 a month. I mean, $1,000 a month, and then the health insurance and all that, etc. So that's a lot of money in India. As
Yeah.
I'm actually from India, converting to $1,500 to Indian rupees is a lot, approximately around 70,000 Indian rupees. That will save if they stay home and do the online course. They don't have to pay rent if they're living in their house, and for food extra, there is nothing. There's no such hidden expenses. So that's a lot of money. So we really encourage, if the program is 100% online, we really encourage students to start first semester online. Hopefully things will smoothen by winter, and then traveling would be smoother as well.
So see, you'll save on your accommodation. Nate, you wanted to add it some. You want to add something to it?
Just something that popped in my head, and we talked about it earlier, is the other part of the benefit of studying online, and we've talked about the savings, but the other thing that students need to remember is, we were talking about this at the start, the world has changed now, and businesses are using online tools to stay connected. What better way to start your Canadian education than working in a virtual classroom? And the college system creates the classroom to feel like real world job ready experience. Those professors are going to treat you like an employee, so to speak, in a virtual classroom or a virtual workplace. So I think it's a really good opportunity to cut your teeth in this industry now with these online tools, because that's going to make you more employable once you graduate and are looking for full-time employment in a global marketplace, where Canadian companies are going to want qualified graduates of Canadian colleges who have experience and know how to work cross time zones and utilize the tools that we're using today. And they're going to learn a lot more about those online tools when they start their classes in the fall. But keep that in mind as well. I know it's daunting, and sometimes you think, "Ooh, I don't know if I can do that," and that's okay if you can't, and you make that decision after classes start. But I would really encourage students to look at the glass half full, and to take this as a learning opportunity to make themselves more employable once they graduate with this unique opportunity. Sorry, it just came into my mind, so I didn't want to
Yeah,
even mention that.
definitely. Students who will study online, they will definitely gain experience. And post pandemic, everything is being done online. The whole business shift is
Yeah.
online. Students, you will definitely have one step ahead if you do online, do your studies online, and you will have better job opportunities after you complete your course also. So there's
Yeah.
one particular question that also comes up in my mind, that there's a student called Jaspreet. She said she received an AIP before, but before that she applied for a defer to January. Now she wants to take up classes for September. Is it possible?
Yes, depends on. I mean, if the student has got an offer for the fall, move to deferred it to winter, and wants to come back for fall, our office definitely honors that student, and we can definitely put him or her back into the fall.
Yep.
So if you want, if you've got your of AIP and you already deferred to January, we will St. Clair College will assist them to start their online studies for fall intake. So Jasprit, if you've applied through us, kindly send us an email and we will try to help you out. And Preet, we have already told you that St. Clair College will be refunding 100% money if you get refusal. So don't worry about that. Harman says, my website, my course is shown online, but the college has sent me an email that laboratory work is presence in Canada is necessary. Please clear my confusion. This is some particular question, like a different question. Would you take up? So she says on the website, it shows the course is online, but the college sent an email that laboratory work, so my presence is in Canada is necessary.
I think the confusion lies in the travel letter or email that we sent out last week. And why we sent that out is we understood that a student doesn't have to travel right now. That let's say hypothetically they have an AIP and they get a stage 2 approval in November, and the government says anyone that's got a stage 2 can travel to Canada. They then will have in their records an email from the college saying the holder of this letter is free to come to Canada whenever it is safe to do so, and they're eligible to. And that way, then the student doesn't have to track us down last minute to try to get some sort of supporting document. So the email was a little bit of a I can see how it caused a little confusion. It was just us trying to be a service to the students, saying you are a student in the fall, keep this in your records. Laboratory, I think where the confusion was around was that the laboratory once where we were as an institution, we are hoping that come January 2021 that laboratories and stuff will be back fully functional face to face. So I think that's the confusion. But my suggestion to that student is, unless they can reply in the chat thing with exactly what their program is, my guess is it's an online class, and the confusion was around just the travel letter.
Yeah, there's another question that he wants to apply for an IBM. See, I think IBM is still available for fall. I hope he can apply IBM. He wants to apply for this fall. Is available for fall if he wants to
Is
apply.
if he's a new applicant, IBM is really close to the capacity.
Okay.
Should We should be able to get back to you if either yes or no
Yeah.
before end of today.
Yeah. So Dhiren, we need to look into it and then we'll get back to you. In the meantime, you can email me your documents and I can assess you are eligible or not.
Yeah.
So there is one particular question, like a student called Ranjot is asking that he's got his AIP, and if he wants to change his campus from Windsor to Toronto after 6 months or 1 year, is it possible?
There's a possibility of switching the campus after one semester, and again, that is not guaranteed, as it depends on the capacities to.
Availability of the seats, yeah.
Yes, availability. I would suggest a student to come see one of our staff members when he or she is close to the end of first term, and then our managers can get in touch with the Acumen friends and see where the capacity is, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, so I feel the Toronto campus is too full to the capacity, and it is always very difficult to transfer to Toronto.
Yeah,
So students, it will be really difficult. Maybe there will be only one seat you can squeeze in, but it will be very tough to get transferred after 6 months.
yeah, very
So
limited
then
seats.
there are so many questions. Yeah. So there's a student, a lot of students have got an AIP for St. Clair College and they are thanking St. Clair College and Landmark. So definitely I will suggest all the students who've got AIP for St. Clair College, you can start your courses online and you must do that. That will be a positive sign for you guys. And if you have any trouble starting your online courses, then you can get in touch with this. But everything is on the portal. If you have your login details, you can do study online. So if one question is there that students travel support letter is also on their portal. So Vinay, if they want a travel support letter, they can request it on the portal.
What the email mentioned about the portal is the SIS. So that's the place where they usually go see their schedule, their transcripts, all the academic and the financial records. The same place I can email you the path how to get there. SIS, all the step-by-step instructions that will lead to that page. If the student is still having hard time to get a PDF from SIS, you can always email us, and then we will speak to our registration office and the IT department to see where the problem is.
Yes, yeah. The SIS is where the travel document that they can download and print off and carry with them is. The other thing about SIS is for the students who have an AIP that are starting online this fall, the first week of September will be the virtual orientation. So just students keep an eye open for that because there will be specific academic sessions for each program that we'll have at a specific time. So they need to keep an eye open for their that announcement coming either by email or by social media posts about their virtual orientation for the fall. Canadian students are going to be in those virtual orientations as well because they're online too. And we've got some really cool plans about how to make that special for our students online. And so they'll have an opportunity to interact with their program coordinator, talk a little bit about what the semester will look like online, how the classes will go, keeping in mind the time zone difference. The teachers are very aware that a lot of the students will be in different time zones, so they'll make themselves available for students in Asia so that they can participate and fully appreciate the lessons and the classes. We did have about 600 students start in May online as well, and the final marks have just come out this week, and they were very good. A lot of happy first semester international students who studied from India. They were very happy with the marks, very good high marks, GPAs. And so I think they were relieved. They had a lot of anxiety going into the semester that internet speed, am I going to be able to keep up with classes? And I think they were very pleased to find out that their teachers are very accommodating, very approachable, accessible, and that'll be the same for the fall. And so we're really excited about having a really good fall semester with our students.
That's great. Like 600 students already did their online studies in St. Clair College and they passed out with good result. And it's really motivating news for all the students who are starting their classes online for the fall. I'll take two questions last, Nathan and Vinay. One is that for January, how many days we are issuing offer letter? I know it's super quick, but there's a question Mr. Rahman is asking again and again that if he wants to apply for January, in how many days he can receive an offer letter. I think you can, if you apply, you can receive an offer letter within 7 days. So there's no issue with that. So you can apply right now, Rahman. Am I right, Vinay and Nathan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Less than
okay, any,
7. I hope. Hopefully, it's a little bit
yeah,
more like 2 or 3 days.
yeah. So, but we need to tell them sometimes there's a delay. So we tell them like a week or 10 days. So anybody who's wishing to apply for Jan or May, they can apply right away. So they can apply for January intake. So they can get their offer letters. I tell them 7 to 10 days, but St. Clair College is really quick and we will try to get you offer letter as soon as possible. So I feel on the generic, on the whole, we have answered all the questions. But students, I need to recap 100% refund policy for all the students. There is a link on the website that you can check your courses hybrid or online, but 90% all the students who got their AIPs are for online courses. If you're having any issue in studying online, kindly send us an email right now and we'll try to sort out the issue as soon as possible. And if you start your online classes, you'll save on the insurance part. Anything else? I think so. I just recapped because there's few viewers who joined us and they were asking the same questions. Anything else you want to add, Nathan and Vinay?
I think that's about it.
No, and just thank you again, Jasmeet. This has been a great opportunity, and thanks to all the students and parents and friends of students who were watching online and had questions. Hopefully, we were able to answer them. If not, international at stclaircollege.ca is our email address. Send us an email. Otherwise, get a hold of Jasmeet and his team at Landmark as well. They're very good partners of the college. We're very pleased with the work that Landmark is doing and the students that they're sending to St. Clair College. So contact us, ask away. We're here to help.
Thank you so much, Vinay and Nathan, for taking out time for this live show. And I hope we've done a generic solution. We've given students some solution and some information. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank you
very
for
much.
that.
Have a
Yeah,
good night.
thank you. Yeah, bye-bye.